On May 14, 2011, on a casual dive to Isla Coronado, just south of the US-Mexican border, I came across two abandoned lobster traps and a huge fishing net lying on the bottom. Disturbed by this finding, I contacted the Ocean Defenders Alliance, an organization that removes lost and discarded fishing gear and underwater debris that may become a hazard to marine life. In July, a team of volunteer divers are assembled to start the removal.
We're out here going to remove what we're estimating to be a 1,000-pound net off of Coronado Island.
It looks like a purseiner, and a full-size purseiner is about 1,000 pounds. And these nets, when they're left behind, they continue to fish.
The dive boat Humboldt out of San Diego, California, donated their services for the short trip to the northern island. The lobster traps and ghost fishing net were still there. The dive teams approached and quickly split into 3 groups and started to work on their assigned tasks.
Don't biodegrade, so these things cause a lot of damage to the environment. They scrub the reef, they kill everything on the reef, and then they continue to catch smaller fish, and then other fish, sea lions, birds, will dive in to catch those fish, and then they get caught in the net. So it's a perpetual killing cycle.
The divers quickly secured the 2 traps together and set up a surface marker buoy for later recovery. As the divers bundle up sections of the net, the disturbed silt makes for very limited visibility. One of the teams is making good progress floating the net with lift bags. As my first dive comes to an end, the recovery divers are still hard at work below.
One of the teams got some video footage. Another team worked on the lobster pots, which we're trying to clean up right now. There's some scallops stuck in here that we're trying to get out. There's a big ball of net that's off the reef, and they attach some lift bags to it to create tension. So now there's going to be a ball of net that's being lifted to the surface, and then we will go in for dive number 2 and slice the net and free it so we can get a shot to the top.
After a long surface interval, to minimize any possibility of decompression sickness, the visibility has cleared up and sections of the net are starting to float towards the surface due to the constant pull of the lift bags. The divers start to cut the net into pieces so they can float it to the Humboldt that is waiting above. Kurt explains more about the mission of the Ocean Defenders Alliance.
We've been removing nets for about 7 years now, maybe 8 years. We've removed roughly 12,000 pounds of net and almost 100 lobster traps to this point.
The captain and volunteers pull up the ghost net onto the Humboldt. The net is checked for hidden sea creatures.
We were here about a month ago, and we're going back to try to remove what was left. Last time we removed 300 pounds the first day, and then some guys went back a couple days later and got about 600 pounds. So it was quite a haul, but they found out also that there's a lot more there. It's basically wrapped around a reef, so we're going to have to spend some time untangling it, and then we'll do more to cut it up and get it out of there.
Returning to this site, the divers now know what they're up against and work quicker and more efficiently. few of the local sea lions come by to inspect the progress.
It's really important to get rid of this stuff because these nets not only kill marine mammals as well as cetaceans, but they're smothering the reef in that they're killing all the feather dusters, the benthic life, crabs get in there, get caught in it, and then the seals come in. These nets are made out of nylon, so they never degrade in the system. So it's very important to get them out of there. And I read a really interesting statistic this week. Roughly 300,000 cetaceans, that's your whales, dugongs, and dolphins, get caught in this type of gear every year. 300,000. That's worldwide. So it's really important to get this stuff out of there. It's impacting wildlife on a massive scale. It's estimated by the scientists that we're losing anywhere from 10 to 15% of the mortality every year in the ocean is due to ghost nets and ghost traps.
The divers have freed and are floating up large sections of the ghost net. Everyone pitches in to pull in these large sections aboard the Humboldt.
There's still a lot more to go, which is just amazing because we're pulling up hundreds and hundreds of pounds every time we come here. So I'm really happy about it.
And there's still more to clean up here and elsewhere in our polluted seas.
Thank you.